Hello everyone, Dan and Ellie here for our Thursday update and encouragement. Trust that you are doing well.
Yes, happy Thursday. It feels like we've been doing this for a number of weeks now.
Well, it's been nearly eight weeks or something.
Time is
now,
flying.
So
it's nice for us to be with you guys. We want to just draw our attention as a community to the way that we're thinking about the season that we're in with our coronavirus experiences, because we've noticed some of us are falling into language with ourselves. Just 2 seconds ago, we're just talking about coronavirus as being an event, and we heard something really helpful we wanted to share with you guys. Yeah. About the way that we can consider coronavirus not so much as an event that is over, but as a play that is unfolding into different acts of a play.
Yeah, so kind of more like a story. Like I think when we look back on this time, we're not going to look back on it as where were you when coronavirus happened, because it's actually going to be something that's unfolding. Like we've had our first kind of season of it, and it's still act of it, and now we know there's step 2 and potentially step 3, but the implications of it are going to go on for a while. And so I think it might be helpful just for all of us, even just in our homes, in our families, in our work, in our marriages and relationships, to think of it more so as an unfolding, story that God's going to be in with us and helping us through each step of the way, but not necessarily just as something that is going to be, over and finished, tomorrow.
And that's not something that I'm happy about. I think it's the unfolding nature of coronavirus is really sometimes the grief of it is just shocking when we consider the things that have changed for us for the short term that might be long-term changes.
Oh, you're worried about your travel. Going travel. Yeah.
I feel heartbroken at the idea of not being able to go overseas anytime soon. And I think that's not a silly thing. It's important to me, and there are things that are important to you that have changed through this time. And so we want to acknowledge that they are things for you to process and to grieve, but also to acknowledge that that's going to continue with a number of different things taking a while. And we heard today Mark Sayers joked that unprecedented times has been replaced with the new normal being the catchphrase. But it's true, we're all trying to figure out what this new unfolding normal looks like, and we want to encourage you that we're with you and God is with you as we figure out each step. Yeah,
through each act of the play. It's God's big story, and how in amongst this time can we continue to see God and what He's doing in us and through us, and then seeking God for what re-emergence, in the next part of the play and act will look like. And so we can trust God through each of those. So just a couple of things to let people know. This Sunday, we've got Michelle Stevens with us. Michelle's a good friend of our church and a good friend of Ali and I's, and she's coming to share a word and finish our One series. We decided to extend it by a week because we just thought it really helpful to hear a word from her around what it looks like to share our faith. And so that's this coming Sunday. Zoom prayer tonight. 7:30 p.m. So I encourage you to be part of that. You can find the links on our socials or online on our website as well. And a financial update. Last week, just check your emails. Kathy and I just put together a little video around keeping people updated on our financial position as a church over this time. So just encourage you, if you haven't seen that, to go and check that out. Check your emails and you can find the link to that.
Yeah.
Well, just one final thing we wanted to share today was we've been looking at this One series, and there's this beautiful passage that we're not going to look at it in there, but I thought we'd just quickly to share it and encourage people today with it, from 1 Peter 2, and it says this. It speaks about Jesus being a cornerstone, and I think it's a great place to remember in amongst this, at every stage of the story that we go through, is that we can see that Jesus is the one who is holding everything together. And so I think that's a really important
And that is the thing that everything relies on. So
everything relies on.
It's not my ability to travel that is the cornerstone of my life. It's not your job or your income that's the cornerstone of your life. And it's a good invitation for us to make sure that we're always acknowledging Him and making Him that cornerstone of our lives.
Yeah. And then he goes on, he says, but you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. And I just love that, because it reminds us that we are a chosen people. You are chosen, you are blessed by God. I know that today. But you are also a royal priesthood. A priest was one who connected people to God and one another. We are the people of God, and your role in this time is to connect people with God and to one another.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful calling that is, and that we are there as God's special possession, that we're loved by God, dearly loved by Him, and we're called to declare His praises, because He's the one who called us out of darkness into light.
It's a
So
good
we just
calling.
thank God for his mercy and his goodness today. So it's been wonderful to be with you, and we'll be back again probably, well, next week.
Next
you
week.
know.
See you then.
God bless and go well.